Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes a picture can tell 1,000 words, and sometimes you can judge a book by its cover and you can be absolutely right. This is one of those situations where you can look at this man and tell that he is a horrible person. He deserves life in prison, maybe even the ultimate penalty under law, but that individual just has this lost boys look on his face and just I don't know what all of that stuff is. I don't know whether there's blood on him or just some type of skin disease, like an infestation of crabs came in and just crawled all over him and just pinched him and scratched him up everywhere. I don't know. Maybe he got into a fight with a bag of fleas or something. I don't know. But anyway, that fool that y'all see on my screen right there, his name is Rashad Akeem Thompson out of Beckley, West Virginia. He's 34 years old, and he admitted to beating his girlfriend's 7-year-old son to death with a hammer. With a hammer. I want y'all to look, and I'm not making any excuses. Y'all can tell from the picture he looks like a pretty big dude. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 285 pounds. I'm a decent sized guy, and that guy looks like he's bigger than me. He didn't do it with his hands. He grabbed a hammer and went to town on a 7-year-old boy. But I want y'all to hear these details. Again, Rashad Akeem Thompson, 34 years old, carried out the deadly assault on a 7-year-old boy, which his picture's about to come up right about now. Let me get his pictures up here. This little boy that y'all see on my screen. Let me see if I got a bigger picture of him. Let me see. Give me a moment. Look at this boy. Look at how small he is. He looks like a very gentle soul. This little boy's name is Treshawn Brown, 7 years old. This boy met his demise at the hands of a thug-looking creature with a hammer in his hand that felt the need to beat this boy to death. This happened at about 2:45 a.m. in the morning Thursday inside an apartment complex in the city of Beckley, according to the Beckley Police Department. Now, when the police arrived, they found the hammer that was covered in blood on the living room floor. So they have the evidence. They discovered the young boy's body lying on the couch with extreme trauma to the left side of his head. This man allegedly told the police, he said, "I just lost it. I just lost it." Can we get a hashtag when you date thugs, you date death? Hashtag stupid is as stupid thugs. Huh? Hashtag TTT and TTO. This man does not need jail time. He needs hell. Hell. He needs hell time. He needs to spend a couple of generations in hell. The criminal complaint stated that the boy being repeatedly bludgeoned with the hammer. The boy's 24-year-old mother by the name of Felicia Brown. Let me see if I have mama's picture up here. That is the mother of that boy. That's Felicia Brown. And she was found at a neighbor's house bleeding heavily from an apparent stab wound to her face. The woman was hospitalized in critical condition. The broken knife was also recovered inside the house. So apparently this man tried to stab and murder her to death for whatever reason. Brown was the mother of a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old who she inadvertently left behind upon fleeing for her life as Thompson set about stabbing her. I'm going to read that again, and then I'm going to say something that's probably guaranteed to piss some of you ladies off. I know I have some good women out there, and I can only hope that you guys continue to stay supporting our channel. But I'm getting ready to say something that's probably not going to sit well with some of your sensibilities. I'm going to say that again because I actually had a lady in California who I did a story about her twins, and she actually sent her lawyer after me to have my video completely taken off of YouTube. Just behind me saying what I'm getting ready to say right damn now. Brown, the mother of a 2-year-old child and a 7-year-old boy who was bludgeoned to death with that hammer, they said she inadvertently left behind fleeing for her life. She inadvertently left her children with the man that she chose to lay down with, be intimate with, knowing he is a dangerous man. If she didn't, she should have did a background check on him. She left her children there who couldn't speak for themselves, nor could they defend themselves against the tyranny of mom's boyfriend. I'm calling it mom's boyfriend because I don't know what the hell else it could be. What was he supposed to be, the maintenance man? I wonder who's going to come out and make some excuses now. Let me see if I can get his details up here again. Let me see if I can find that. He's 6 foot tall, 195 pounds. That man has to be 295. He can't be 195 pounds. That's got to be wrong. 200 pounds. That dude looks big as hell. So let me say what pissed people off in California, especially that mom out there. When you talk about unconditional love for your children, I would do anything for my children. When you utter these words, when you say I would die for my children, I would take a bullet for my children. It's funny how when that scenario is actually presented in front of your face, how you crumble and you run and you leave your children there to deal with the man that you brought them around. I can almost guarantee you he is not the father of either one of those children. Mom made a conscious decision that said that she wanted to get her some self-pleasure from her thug lion, from the thug zoo. And what did mama do? Mom went to go play with her thug lion, and you can see all them claw marks on him. The thug lion, yes. Mom went to go play with the thug lion. The thug lion took his claws and tried to murder the mom, and the mom took off running and left her 2-year-old child and 7-year-old child inside of the lion's cage. She ran. She did not stay there and defend those children with her life. It's funny how we say all of that stuff until it's time to actually do that stuff. When it's actually time to put your life on the line for your transgressions. Yes, I'm saying that the mom was a big cowardice, leaving her children there at the mercy of that fool. Let's continue. The neighbors went inside Brown's apartment and grabbed the 2-year-old child. She saw Thompson walking towards the kitchen, so she carried the baby back to her home and left the baby with Brown. She then went back to Brown's apartment to get Brown's son. When she walked inside, she told police she saw Thompson violently striking the sofa with an object, but she could not tell what that object was. She ran away, but returned to Brown's place once Thompson had been arrested. The mother's stabbing and the boy's fatal bleeding was described as a case of domestic violence, which means if it's domestic, they were living together, which means it was mom's boyfriend. Thompson was arrested at the scene and charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, child abuse resulting in death, malicious wounding, and 2 counts of domestic battery. He's being held at the Southern Regional Jail pending his arraignment. It's unclear what motivated the attack on the mother and her son, and if there had been prior episodes at the residence. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I read somewhere that this wasn't the first time that he was violent with her, but I don't know that for a fact. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. Let you hear the news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Now, I want you guys to remember, because I know not everybody that's watching me for the first time is going to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that the mom would have been able to successfully defend her children from this man. She might have died in the process. The kids still might have died in the process. What I'm actually saying, for those who actually think, critical thinking skills, what is DJ Just Jay actually saying? What I'm saying is don't get involved. Don't struggle to leave. Don't get involved. How about that for a solution?
34-year-old man is in jail this evening accused of killing a 7-year-old boy and stabbing a 24-year-old woman in Raleigh County. It happened just before 3 o'clock this morning at the Lewis Ritchie apartment complex on Industrial Drive in Beckley. Beckley police say Rashad Thompson was arrested at the scene and taken to the Southern Regional Jail. He's currently being held there without bond. Police haven't released the names of the victims or information about how the boy died. They say the woman is hospitalized in critical condition. We'll have updates online and on WTAP News as more information becomes available.
Police released more information about the murder of a 7-year-old boy and the stabbing of his mother. Welcome to 59 News at 6. I'm Casey Gentile. Riley Phillips has the evening off. 59 News reporter Paris Dunford has been covering this story. She's joining us live now with the update. Paris?
Casey, the new details in this case only highlight the tragedy of a domestic violence case turned deadly. Investigators released more information about the tragic murder that took place early Thursday morning. Police say the woman who was stabbed is Felicia Brown. Her son, Trayshawn Brown, was a 7-year-old boy who was killed. Police arrested Rashad Thompson for the murder of Trayshawn and the stabbing of Felicia.
It appears that the mother and the suspect in this case were involved in a relationship. It appears that obviously that is her son, but it does not appear that he was related to the suspect.
We've learned more about the timeline of the events that happened that morning. Police say an argument led to the stabbing of Felicia. She then ran to her neighbor's apartment to call for help. While she was away, police say Thompson beat her son to death. According to the police report, Thompson said to police, quote, "I just lost it." Investigators who were on scene say this was one of the worst crime scenes to walk into.
It was a particularly bad scene, particularly because of the juvenile involved. 7 years old is a tragic incident in any circumstance.
Police say this is unfortunately the most tragic ending to a domestic violence situation. That's why they say it's so vital to raise awareness. Putting a stop to this type of situations could save lives.
Basically avoid this sort of situation by taking care of things early on, but it's not always possible and it's not always easy. But that's
So what he's trying to say in a PC manner, which he can't say, but I can say, don't get involved with thugs, because when you hashtag date thugs, you date death. That's the emoji that they're posting in the chat. Anytime anybody uses that, or babies for benefits or anything like that, you know it's an AFC hashtag that belongs to us. Let's move on. Next video.
A little boy is dead and a woman is in critical condition. Police arrested the man they say is responsible. 59 News reporter Paris Dunford is live in Beckley with details on this tragic case. Paris?
Casey, police responded to these apartments around 2:45 this morning. They expected to find one victim, but unfortunately found more. Police were dispatched to the Lewis Ritchie apartments early Thursday morning. Police say a woman was stabbed in her apartment and ran to her neighbor's apartment to call for help. When police arrived on scene, they only expected to find one victim, but they discovered something tragic.
In their efforts to determine if anybody else was injured, they went into the residence and discovered that a small child had also been assaulted.
That small child was a 7-year-old boy. He was pronounced dead on scene, and the stabbing victim was his mother. Police arrested Rashad Thompson on scene. He was arrested on multiple charges, including first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in death. They believe Thompson and the two victims all lived together at the time, but they don't know of their relationship.
I have not even gotten to interview her.
Police are still investigating this incident and ask that anyone who knows the victim or the suspect in their relationship to contact the Beckley Police Department. Police say all murder cases are difficult to investigate, but the murder of a young child hits a little harder.
It's an extraordinarily difficult case, I think, for everybody that's been involved.
And we have obtained the names of these victims as well as some other information. Police has asked us to withhold that information at this time to give them a chance to talk to that mother involved. When we can bring you those details, we will do so as soon as possible. For now, reporting live in Beckley, Paris Dunford, 59 News. Casey, back to you.
Heartbreaking story, Paris. Thank you.
And hopefully before anybody gets confused when I say hashtag you date thugs, you date death, hashtag special place in hell, thank you very much. I'm not going to steal that from you. I like that, though. I really do. But when I use these hashtags, I don't mean to refer to his race, his skin color. I'm talking about his actions. Because thug is not a color. It is an action. Okay? And I do appreciate you saying that as well. I'm actually getting ready to say that right now. Prevention is deterrence. Stop dating thugs. And thank you so much, Mookie Lolo, for that. Prevention is the deterrent. In order to deter these things, you have to prevent these things. You have to prevent the problem. You have to stop it at the root. The root cause of all of these problems is that we continue to allow people like these individuals who don't have a job, who don't have a life, who don't have a future, who have had a large criminal history, who are violent, who are not suitable to be caretakers for your children. We continue to promote that as the man that you want to have inside your house. And that absolutely has to stop. That is a choice that a lot of these women are making. I know we got a lot of smart ladies out there in our chat that don't date people that look like this, that act like this. If you live by the thug, you die by the thug. Hashtag stupid is as stupid thugs. That man does not need jail time. He needs hell time. He tried to murder the mom because he got mad at her. I hope that she survives. I really do. We put a prayer hands up in the chat. I don't want bad stuff to happen. I want us to not get ourselves in bad situations. I do feel bad for her 7-year-old boy. But like I said, I want y'all to go back and look at this. As big as that man is, and as small as this baby boy is, there's no way he could have defended himself against that big old dude. And then that man took a hammer to that baby. That is incredibly disgusting. To that little boy, and again, we'll pray for the mom and hope that the mom pulls through. We'll put a prayer hands up for that baby, and let's put a prayer hands up in the chat for his soul. Trayshawn Brown, 7 years old, young prince, R.I.P. I'm DJ Just Jay, and I do hope you listen with an open mind and an open heart. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for listening to the stream.